Every patient who arrives here is a casualty of war. This non-profit trauma hospital goes by one name, Emergency. It offers free treatment to the bruised and bloodied victims of this conflict.
Regardless of whether they're Taliban or what their political affiliations are.
Of course, otherwise you're not a doctor anymore, then you are a judge.
Dr. Gino Strada is the chain-smoking Italian cardiologist who founded Emergency in 1999.
Try.
He told us he's seen a dramatic shift in the types of injuries he treats. Fewer bullet wounds and many more from roadside bombs and heavy weapons.
The weapons which are now used are much more powerful and destructive than those that were available 10 or 15 years ago.
This year, the hospital has treated nearly 2,000 patients, an all-time high. The vast majority, civilians.
And this is from shrapnel?
5-year-old Sher Mohammed's wrist was fractured and his arm burned when he was hit by shrapnel. His injuries have healed well. But not all children are so lucky. This young boy had picked up what he thought was a toy, and it exploded in his pocket. By the time he arrived at Emergency, there was nothing the doctors could do. We live in a place where insurgents and police are shooting at each other all the time, his uncle told us.
So the fighting is becoming more and more close to the capital, and it's becoming more intense. And this is very, it's very worrying because it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen in the near future.
As NATO troops prepare to pull out in 2014, there are fears that the security situation could deteriorate further and that Afghanistan's healthcare system will be overwhelmed. The U.S. has spent nearly $1 billion on healthcare here in the last 10 years, but Dr. Strada told us there is little to show for it.
What worries me is particularly corruption in the health sector. I mean, if you look at the amount of international aid that has come to Afghanistan for health, you would expect to find fantastic hospitals everywhere. And you don't see one.
But there's no shortage of patients, and the war outside Emergency's walls rages on. Clarissa Ward, CBS News, Kabul.